Welcome back to Broadsheet Sydney Around Town. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video. I'm Emma Joyce, features editor at Broadsheet, and I'm the host of this short audio guide to Sydney. Let's get into it. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Emma.
I know that you've been to somewhere, a new cafe in Surry Hills that's dishing out some really cool Japanese snacks. Can you tell me about it?
Sure. So it's called Parami, and it's sort of tucked in around that sort of area in Surry Hills that's sort of on the border of the CBD. So around there, we've got Alberto's Lounge, which we love, and also Hako, which is like an omakase diner, really nice. But Parami is just in there, and they specialize in onigiri.
Onigiri. Tell me about onigiri. I have definitely had some. I've tried it, but I wouldn't say I was an expert.
Sure. So basically it's like staple Japanese snack. You can get it at convenience stores. You can get it at the train station.
A lunchbox kind of snack.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So they're making their own onigiri.
Yeah.
I think I read that it's like 200 a day. How many varieties are they offering?
So there's usually 8. Onigiri is it's rice wrapped in seaweed usually, and then some kind of savory filling usually.
What kind of fillings?
So things like tuna and mayo, which is my favorite actually. Salted salmon, this kind of thing. Seasoned egg, and basically, you can sort of get this changing lineup of onigiri. And as you said, they make sort of roughly 200 a day. And then up to 500 on the weekends.
Wow. Okay. This place has seemed really popular from what I've seen, especially for lunchtime workers. Is it open on the weekends as well?
It's open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m.
The reason I ask is because I have seen photos of these cute little sweet cream-filled strawberry buns, and I really want to try one.
Yep.
Are they as good as they look?
For sure. And this is another thing that you can also get in sort of the Japanese convenience stores. These little buns that are sometimes they're filled with like noodles, savory noodles. Yeah, but
I could smash one.
Yeah. And then also these really pretty sweet varieties, and you can get them.
And do they have any other kind of sweets on offer?
Yeah, there's little sort of cookies, matcha cookies. Definitely got to get one of those. And you can also get coffee. So they're doing Singlo.
Great call for a Surry Hills cafe.
For sure.
Where are they importing their ingredients from?
Yeah, so this is another sort of really interesting piece of it. So they're getting their rice from the Toyama prefecture in Japan, which is sort of in the central mountainous area of Honshu. And it's basically a premium rice growing region. And the rice that comes from there it's very distinct. It's aromatic, it's sweet. And Parami is going so far as to actually bring that in to make its onigiri, which is really cool.
It looks like a cute little spot kind of underneath some apartments. Can you sit there? Can you dine in?
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of cute little seats at the front. And basically the idea is you go in there, you grab a little bit of everything, make your own little lunchbox, and you just kind of grab a seat at the front and tuck in.
Sweet. I'm going this weekend. Hi, Liz.
Hello, Emma. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So this year is a really big year for Sydney Film Festival. It's their 70th anniversary. Am I right?
Yes? That's correct. The big 7 there.
Are they doing anything differently this time around?
Look, honestly, not particularly. I think given its pedigree, there's no reason to sort of remake the wheel. They've got it down pat, but they've got about, I think it's going to be over 200 movies in total, but we don't know all the secret details yet.
Well, it's one of my favourite festivals in Sydney every single year. Mm-hmm. I have a particular seat that I like to book at the State Theatre.
Really?
I make sure that I go to Hayden Orpheum because it's just so beautiful, and the Ritz, and I see as many films as possible. Sometimes starting at 9 a.m. until the 9 p.m. screening. It's a lot.
That's a big day.
I like to see as many as possible. So I get very excited when Sydney Film Festival has the teaser announcement, which they tend to do every year as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've let us know about 12 films they'll be screening this year. What can you tell us about those?
There's quite a few local ones, but then also some really interesting looking international ones that have been featured at like the Venice Film Festival, for instance. So there's a lot of hype globally, and now we get to see what's happening.
Are there any that are piquing your interest in particular?
There is. So I am, like everyone else, a huge sucker for Taika Waititi, and he is producing a sort of Kiwi Tongan film about a group of super rugby fans who are bluffing their way into going to the Rugby World Cup. It's called Red, White and Brass. It's based on a true story, which is hilarious. So they're just pretending that they know how to play brass instruments and they don't know how. But
I watched the trailer for this one before and it's classic.
It looks so cute.
It's exactly the comedy you expect from Taika Waititi.
Really self-deprecating kind of Kiwi stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a real feel-good film.
I hope so.
Any others?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really interested in seeing The Last Daughter. So it's following a Wiradjuri woman, Brenda Matthews, who was a member of the Stolen Generations, and she's on a mission to find her actual family and also to investigate into the state-sanctioned abduction of thousands of children.
I also watched the trailer for this one because it's also piquing my interest. Mm-hmm. And it was so fascinating because she's coming to it from a place of hope. And she has both fond memories of the family who adopted her and also of her family and being reunited with her family. So I think it's going to make me cry. That's how that feels.
I think so. And you don't often see a lot of films covering this particular genre that do have a bit of an uplifting element just because there's so much sorrow, so much trauma, that I think it'll be a pretty interesting dynamic.
One of the films I am very much looking forward to, because I tend to get really into documentaries, is the one called The Subject.
Yes.
Did you see this one?
I did. So I love that it's so meta. So The Subject will be delving into the lives of what happens after people are the subjects of documentaries. So any true crime fans will remember The Staircase. So they'll be featuring, people that were involved in that, as well as the Wolf Pack. So it'll just be fascinating, different lens that we can see documentaries through.
Definitely. I feel like it will make me question all the documentaries I've seen before, how they were made, the ethics behind documentary filmmaking.
Yeah.
And feels very timely as well.
Yeah, well, I feel like the nature of documentaries, we can be so disposable with the people who are featured in these. They're exposing their entire lives and, all these traumas that have happened to them, for instance. And then what happens? We just move on to the next thing that Netflix tells us to watch.
What else do we know? Do we know about any guest speakers or do we know about any supplementary events alongside the screenings?
Yes. So in terms of speakers, some of the directors of the films will be present at the screenings and doing some panel discussions. We don't have a huge amount of information about supplementary events, but on May 10th, we'll get the full lineup and specific tickets will be on sale then as well.
Fantastic. And I know we're 2 months out from the festival, but can you remind us of the dates the festival is running for?
Yes, so the festival is going from June 7th to June 18th.
Fantastic, thank you.
No worries.
And that's all we have time for today. As always, you can stay up to date with what's happening around Sydney at broadsheetsydney.com.au and at broadsheet_Sid on Instagram. I'll be back next week, same time, same place. Chat then.